So welcome to another battle report, folks. Today it's going to be German armour and only armour against British infantry with some anti-tank guns, Churchills and aircraft in support. Start with the Germans. It's a Panzer III formation with some support. So there's two platoons of Panzer IIIs, and each platoon, even though these guys are showing 75s, actually don't have enough short 50s, but they're all going to be two long 50s, two short 50s, company command of two short 50s, Panzer II platoon, and then in support Panzer IVs, all short barrelled for artillery, basically an artillery option, 4 Marders and 3 armoured cars. So this is coming up against a small horde of Brits. Brian, if you want to let us know what's on the list.
So this is from the Armoured Fist books. This is based on the Rifle Company. I think from the last battle report that we done, I was very conscious that the small companies were easy to break because I'd lost, some of it quite early on and broke actually to lose the last battle. So this time having a Rifle Company, and I've gone for 3 rifle platoons. So it's the HQ in 3 platoons. I've got the Universal Carriers, the Vickers machine guns and the 6-pounders. So with the HQ that gives me 7 platoons from the company, so harder to break. I've brought in support in the form of 2 17-pounders just to give me some extra anti-tank, and then I've brought in additional support from 2 planes just because I needed the points. Still trying to build some models at the moment. Planes didn't perform well in the last game, but we'll see what happens here. And then because it's an infantry list, I've brought in 3 infantry tanks in the form of the Churchills to see if they can support. So the idea being the infantry's on their own, they've been attacked by some tanks, they managed to rustle up some tanks for their own support and try to call on aircraft to help. Apologies again, it's not painted. Well, I'm getting around that, it's been too sunny to paint at the moment. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine rather than the painting, but models ready to go, and infantry versus tanks.
So we've already got a mission in mind, but what we'll do is we'll move to deployment and such like, and come back and show you the game before it starts. Okay folks, we have deployed. The mission that we are playing is no retreat. This is a bit of a scunner for the Germans, to be honest, because it means, apart from the planes, the entire British army is on the table. So it's basically just going to be knocking heads straight away. Now the mission allows for minefields, and we're playing 100 points, so there's 4 minefields, and Brian will talk over his deployment of the minefields. The objectives, now because of these buildings being where they are and the fact that infantry can't assault infantry buildings, I put my objective over there behind the wood, and so it made sense for Brian to put another objective right beside it. This area here, I would say, can only be accessed through the gate, because the high walls are, as far as I'm concerned, are high terrain, same as a building. You can't drive a tank through that kind of wall, otherwise you'd be able to drive it through a building wall. So I don't know if it's anything specific there, but there's a way around the back for a smaller vehicle, otherwise it's through the gate. But I think it's academic. I'll need to kill everything around there to be taking any kind of objective anyway. And as far as victory conditions, the attacker has to be over the halfway line by turn 6 to win. I can't find, there may be new rules about them being within 8 inches off the objective, but the old rules weren't to be within 16 inches off the objective to keep the game going. So we're thinking it just stays the same, that I've got to be over the halfway line, otherwise the defender wins, and he's got to push me back after turn 6 away from the halfway line for the defender to win. So we're going to go with that. My deployment is Marders and Panzer IIs over here. My artillery, which is my Panzer IVs here, and they're ranged in, pre-ranged in on the middle of that wood. And then we have armoured cars, and then all my Panzer IIIs. Right, Brian, you maybe want to cover your deployment?
Yeah, so I started off with the minefields. My plan here was I've got 4 minefields. My plan for the first 3 was just to try and restrict any movement down this side of the table. I'm trying to keep everything in one area so I can shoot it with guns whenever they appear on the table. So I've got 3 minefields this side of the railway line, and I put one just inside the buildings here just to stop. I'm using these buildings as any cover. You know, you're just going to have to move into the minefield to do that. Then start by deploying my 3 larger rifle platoons. I've got one inside the, we keep calling it a wood, but it's really a
Palm Grove.
Palm Grove. One on the objective here, and one just to protect this side of the buildings as well. I've put my HQ inside the little railway station here just to go for that extra objective here. I've decided then that I'm going to keep my big guns, they might be too far back, but on the hill, just so they can stop anything coming up here and sort of give an arc of fire down this particular area. I've got my 3 Churchills hiding in the little town ready to come out when they're ready, and just for some extra support the universal carriers behind them. So in ambush I've kept off my 6-pounders that are going to come out and hopefully take out tanks when they arrive, and the planes got to start rolling from turn 1 onwards as a reserve. So that's my entire army bar the guns and the plane on the table.
So this, I always have my doubts about any German army going up against, with front armour of only 5 going up against anything, to be honest. So we'll see what happens in this game, but they can't really, unless Brian does something crazy with the Churchills, I won't be able to hurt him. So we'll see if I can at least stop Brian from winning the game. I think that's going to be my objective. So we'll get everything cleared up, ready to start, and we'll come back at the end of German turn 1. So German turn 1, armour cars and marders have moved up to here. They've stayed put because they were doing a barrage. Armour cars, actually Panzer IIs, armour cars have moved over here. 2 Panzer IIIs are showing themselves, the rest are staying behind the hill. And then I was already ranged in the wood. I managed to get 3 hits out of 7, which wasn't very good. And Brian failed a couple of saves, but I never made the 4 or 5 powers. So they're pinned, but not worried. So that's it for the Germans. So over to the Brits for turn 1.
The British turn 1. I didn't pop my ambush. I've kept that back at the moment. And I rolled for my plane, which I didn't get. And everything else, infantry wise, stayed still. I unpinned these guys from inside the bombardment zone. So the only thing I did, just to try, just see if I can kill something just to start with, was I moved with a blitz move my tanks around to take only 2 shots each, so 4 shots basically into the Panzer IIs, but failed to hit, needed 60 to hit you just to try and hit something, because I think I need to do a bit of movement. So end of turn 1.
Turn 2, a little bit of movement. I did a blitz up onto the escarpment and the Panzer IIs moved out. The Marders fired, managed to get 4 hits. Only got a couple of bales on the Churchills because they're good frontal armour. Passed my 5 powers, but only managed to get bales out of it. The artillery ranged in again. Artillery God of War in version 4 did nothing. Even they got the whole unit just a bit under the template. And a couple of other shots, managed to kill a heavy machine gun actually with the Panzer IIs. A couple of other shots in there didn't get any hits. But more importantly, these guys failed to shoot and scoot, so the Churchills, I imagine, will get back in with protected ammo, maybe get an ambush popped, get the plane along, and then the Churchills, when they're dead, the Churchills can just roll up and finish me off.
Okay, so the end of British turn 2, so I managed to get my roll for reserves, which were my planes, and then rolled and managed to get my planes on as well, so they were going to come on to have a go at the big guns on the hill. I didn't manage to unpin my troops into the artillery bombardment, but did successfully manage to remount my 2 Churchills. I probably chickened out at that point and actually moved my Churchills back into cover. I was needing to hit you on 5 and 6s. I just didn't want to be the smoke clear and your gun still sitting there, which I probably should have taken the gamble with an ambush, but I've moved back into the village. One stayed put and had 2 shots at the Panzer IIs. I've killed 1, bailed 1.
2 6s to hit.
Yeah, and it was the planes I tried to rely on to take out the Marders. So I hit 2, so I rolled to 1 potential bail, 1 potential kill. I failed the potential bail, and on the potential kill I managed to just bail it. So there's 1 bailed out sitting there at the moment. So I probably was very too cautious there at the moment, because once I've got rid of those I think I've got free rein of the table. But let's just see how things progress for turn 3.
Again with turn 3, that was kind of a one chance to kill those Churchills. Took the bait of the Panzer 3s. If I'd got 2 of them, it'd have been great. I would have been able to confidently advance in the game. So as is, I'm just standing still. This Marder didn't get back in. They've blitzed down off the hill. This Panther 3 didn't get back in. The unit passed its last stand. I did some firing into the woods again, and after 3 turns of bombardment with re-rolling saves, actually killed something. And then there was a hit on the Marders. Actually managed to get a hit on a heavy machine gun, and that's it. Nothing much the Germans can do at the moment. Move out and die, I think, is the next thing that they can do, but we'll wait and see if the British give me any ideas in their next turn.
Okay, so the British turn 3, so I failed to unpin my guys inside the trees here, the Pangrove. No planes came on, so the only thing I tried to do was I tried to blitz to see if I could take some shots at the lone gun in the hill. And as you can see, well, failed my blitz, I then had to move to take shots, moved 2 tanks to take shots and failed. So you can see why I was nervous last time about staying out in the open and having a shot. And the guy that didn't move tried his 6s at the guys in the middle here again, but failed. So not much happened in turn 3 for the British at the moment.
4, the Marders managed to blitz up onto the escarpment in such a way that they could only see him. They needed 5s and 6s to hit though. Managed to get a couple of hits, but it only needs, especially long range, only needs to roll like a 3 up to be safe. So I got a couple of hits, but 1 potential bail, nothing happened. As you can see, by the way, that one of the Marders remounted. Panzer II's remounted, moved up, took a couple of shots and missed. The artillery hammered in again. To be honest, I think it's more like about failed firepower than anything, because the guys have been failing 2 or 3 saves a turn, and I've only killed 2 bases out of 4 turns. Probably could have killed more. And the rest of the guys have moved up onto the hill. I'm worried about his ambush, but if he's going to pop it, he's going to have to pop it in the open, at long range, or in that wood under the artillery template, which might work to my advantage. The Amicars did a little bit of manoeuvring so they could fire at the heavy machine guns, but didn't do anything. So over to the Brits for their turn 4, and I've really got to start thinking about what am I doing for turn 6.
Right, so the end of British turn 4, so I decided to, well, I managed to bring on my planes, failed to unpin the guys in the wood, and also decided to pop my ambush. So I've now got everything on the table. So in terms of movement, first of all, I've decided I'm going to start bringing my Churchills round the back here to start affecting this side of the table. So they've done a terrain dash, only 10 because they're slow tanks for the Churchills. The 17 pounder actually managed to see and take a shot at the Panzer II, managed to kill the Panzer II, and 2 shots on that one. Unfortunately I couldn't only see one, or they're taking out both at the same time there, but we'll see if he runs at the beginning of the next turn. In terms of the ambush, because it was out in the open, I managed to have 4 shots, or sorry, 4 shots on 4s and 2 on 5s, and I managed to kill 1 tank, but he made the saves on the second tank. So
you got four hits.
4 hits.
2 of them, 1 rolled a 5, 1 rolled a 6, 1 rolled a 4, 1 rolled a 2.
Bit worrying that they're still sitting there after all that shooting.
All you got to do is roll a 3.
Yeah, turn back here. And I decided to turn my plane's attention to the artillery, because I now put my guns here, and I managed to kill one of them, so you now have to re-roll hits from artillery. So, semi-successful. That's it.
So German turn 5, the Marders had nothing to do, so they moved over to shoot at anti-tank guns, and that's all I've been doing all day, all game rather. Absolutely millions of shots flying in, hits all over the place, 1 dead. And that's the way it goes, shooting anti-tank guns these days, guys. You just got to roll a 3 up, which isn't that difficult. and even then you've got to pass your firepower if he fails a save. So those two probably finish off that end platoon before the Churchills start to come around. So we'll see what happens. Why the Panzer II, surviving Panzer II with his 3 up, last stand, rolled a 2, so he's Oski.
So British turn 5, so failed to unpin the infantry but managed to unpin the guns, failed to bring in a plane, so then it was down to movement, and I continued to move the tanks around, just moved it tactical this time because this guy could, within his 8-inch move, just move in enough to get a shot at the armoured cars, and the rest just kept moving around the buildings here. Actually I might have 28 might have reached there, I'm not sure yet. In terms of then shooting, shot with this guy, managed to kill an armoured car. Shot with the 6-pounders. Now because I killed the guy in the open, these now guys got their hull down, so it hit you in 5s this turn, and it failed to hit. So just really killed one armoured car out of that turn. So quite uneventful.
But I've actually forgot something in this game over.
What is that?
I didn't go turn 6. Start of turn 6.
It's the next one, start turn 6, yeah.
I'm not over the halfway line. I forgot all about it. So it's game over.
At the start of turn 6 you've got to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
So we'll just come back for a recap, guys, and have a wee talk over the game. So folks, as a wee recap then, so I think my personal expectations were pretty much rolled out in that game. I thought with this mission, and when we actually read it and realised that apart from the plane's entire army would be on, including the Churchills, I knew I wasn't shifting anything. I would take a great deal of luck to kill the Churchills. I managed to get 3 firepower tests against them, but they were only for Bales. Passed to them, he got back in, protected ammo. You're only going to lose Churchills, even against Marders, they're only going to lose Churchills if you're unlucky. And with an anti-tank 10, I couldn't sit in front of them and go toe-to-toe with them, because they would kill my front armour 5, no problem at all. That would, I was kind of hoping that there'd be less stuff alive in it, because I was ranged in it and it repeatedly failed the saves, and I just repeatedly failed my firepowers. And there was another couple of chances of shooting over here with the firepower wasn't very good. But I think in this mission, the list I was playing, the only thing I could have done was just launched everything in an initial assault into the wood, hoped it didn't bog down and so on and so on, but that's no fun and certainly isn't going to teach you anything about using your tactics and so on. Over here, I tried to be bait and it worked up to a point. The Panzer IIs drew fire from the Churchills. I came up, managed to get a couple of hits, but as you saw, just Bales. It might have been different with a wee bit of luck, but that's what I needed in this game, is a wee bit of luck, and it just wasn't forthcoming. So Brian, what do you think of this list that you've brought?
So again, I think so. The infantry, when there's lots of infantry on the table, they're not, you know, big gun heavy, but it wasn't needed at the moment because the tanks didn't come close enough. Really impressed with the 6-pounders. You know, 3-up save and guns in mid-war now. Really clever. Well, I did lose one. I think what's got me is I didn't appreciate just how much of a threat these 3 Churchills were. I thought they were just slow lumbering tanks, which might have been harder to kill, but you know, we're going to support the infantry as an infantry tank, but it seemed to really be outweighed against the German list. But you know, I think moving forward, you know, I think the infantry, it'd be good to see if the infantry can survive tanks, you know, coming at them with only having 1 anti-tank gun each. I think you get a lot of models on the table in this list. I think having a larger company means you're not going to worry about the break, because I had 7 potentially platoons in there, which was really good as opposed to the last game. Still not sure about the big guns at the back, because they're sticking too far back all the time. We've only taken it 1 Panzer II for the points they're at. Maybe these guns are slightly better, got a better save and moving forward. But yeah, I enjoyed the game. I wanted to see if we could get the tanks attacking infantry, but we'll maybe try that next time and see what happens if I don't bring on the uber impressive Churchills.
It's kind of like Churchills and Tigers. If you bring them into mid-war, you're really bringing heavy, super heavies into, same as bringing super heavies into late war, which we can do anyway.
Yeah. it did make a good game though, having that there. It's unkillable, but that was a good game. We'll try it again, but maybe I'll bring in smaller tanks next time and try the same sort of lists. I'll replace these with smaller tanks and see what happens.
I won't have any Brits for a while yet. I'll have to stick with the Germans for mid-war. The Brits will be some time off because I have to do something, a wee bit of painting for somebody else over the next wee bit. But when I do, I'll be starting all tanks with the Brits, just because it'll be the quickest way of getting something together, and then I'll add some infantry and gun elements to it. Maybe some infantry in this game might have helped the Germans a little bit, but I wanted to try all tanks anyway. But there you go, so that was a really simple, straightforward win for the Brits, to make up for the simple, straightforward win for the Germans in the last one, I suppose. So it's even odds in the desert.